What's up, guys? Out here with another video. We're going to be discussing meekness versus weakness, right? Because a lot of people think that us as Christian, like we're weak people. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand the difference between us being meek and someone being weak, right? And the reason why they say that we are so-called weak is because we're always quick to forgive. And, we always talk about, turning the other cheek if someone wrongs us. We're willing to pray for that person and we're willing to forgive them instead of actually going out and trying to repay a person with evil. Or we're not the type of people to go out and just try to harp on certain things. Like, for instance, you don't have a lot of Christians, I'm real Christians anyway, that are always talking about what the white man did to our ancestors and what's happening in the black community and we need to stand together and all of that stuff. Us as real Christians, what we do is that we leave all of the judgment and we leave all of the punishment to God. God is the one who is going to judge or punish in the end. And this is where meekness comes in, because by definition, meekness is it's a person, or someone expressing meekness is a person who is able to we're patient, we're forbearing, we're willing to listen, willing to learn, willing to have open dialogues and discussions with people. We're not out to try to make people think the way that we think or trying to change people, or we're the type of people to where we understand authority. We understand where ultimate authority comes from, and it comes from God. And one of the biggest reasons is, as into why we're so meek and why we don't let the troubles of the world just bother us, is because we serve the one who was on the throne. This is the ultimate God. He's the ultimate authority. So we're not out here trying to come against other people of other races. We're not mad at white folks or black folks or Hispanics or anything like that. And the reason is because we serve the ultimate creator. When you serve the one who makes all judgment, he judges the living and the dead, what do you have to be upset about? This is why it's easy for us to express meekness, because first of all, we were once under his judgment. And a lot of people don't think about that. Like, we were, as Christians, we were under his judgment. But to now be free from condemnation, from our sin, I mean, there's nothing for us to be upset about. There's nothing else that we can be just contentious about. You see what I'm saying? So this is why when these guys be talking about, our ancestors and, all of this other stuff, we don't worry about that. And the reason why we don't worry about that is because we have more joy knowing that we're on the same side as the one who judges and condemns all. So why am I sitting back worried about what someone else has done to me or what I think somebody else is trying to do to me, when God is the one who's, number one, he's going to protect me, and whatever happens to me is because he allows it to happen. Someone decides they want to throw me in jail and beat me up and torture me and all of that goes to the glory of God, because he's allowing that. There's nothing, and this is the thing about Christians, we don't believe that God is sitting back watching things happen and he's just totally unaware. You see what I'm saying? So this is why when you look at the black Hebrew Israelites and you look at people in the conscious community, they can't understand us and they can't get it. So they hate us because, number one, they hate God. They hate the one and only true God. And the God that they serve is a weak God. You see what I'm saying? Or the creator that they claim to believe in is a weak creator, because this creator does things or doesn't even tell them anything. Like, for example, the conscious community. They worship a creator, or they acknowledge a creator that is weak. This creator doesn't tell you whether or not slavery is right, slavery is wrong. You don't have any reference points. The only thing that you can go by is your own emotion. And this is the biggest problem with the conscious community, and this is why they're always upset. This is why they're always mad. Because they don't have meekness. They don't have a connection with the Almighty Creator. They have no understanding. And the Bible says that God will bring confusion upon those who claim to be so wise, and they claim to be so intelligent. They claim to have everything figured out. It says that in the last days God's going to put a veil over their eyes, and they're going to be confused. And this is why we have to pray for those who do have the veil over their eyes, that God will lift that veil. But once again, it's up to the Lord. If the Lord decides that he wants to take that veil off of people's eyes, then hey, then it's up to the Lord. If he decides that he doesn't want to do it, then there's nothing that we can be upset about. There's nothing that we can be mad about. And we don't run around here worried about what our ancestors went through, because we know at the end of the day, God is going to judge those who have done wrong in his sight, whether it's the slave masters or whether it's our ancestors. If our ancestors have done something wrong, then God is going to judge them. And if they're dead, he's already judged them. You see what I'm saying? But I was just reading in Nahum, I think it's Nahum 1 and 3, I think, where it says that, God is slow to anger, but he has great power. You see what I'm saying? And as a person who is meek, we have a great power in the Lord. So we understand what's going to happen to the world and the people in this world, and that everyone's going to be judged. It's not just Christians, it's not just unbelievers, but all of us, we're all going to be judged by the same God. Whether you claim that you believe in this God or not, you're all going to be judged. And if you want to find out how you're going to be judged, it's all in the Bible. You reject the Bible, it doesn't mean that it doesn't dethrone God. God doesn't sit back and say, well, I'm not going to judge you just because, you don't believe. No, you're going to be judged the same way that we're all going to be judged, So I just wanted to kind of go ahead and make this quick video and let you guys know what the difference between meekness and weakness is. When you hear these people talk about us being weak and all of this stuff, like for instance, you remember when the Dylan Roof shooting happened, and that, if you guys don't remember, it's the young white kid, I think he was like 19, and walked into a church that was predominantly black and shot up a whole bunch of people. I think he shot like 9 people, killed them inside of this church while they were having service. And the people of the church said that they forgive Dylan Roof. And you had a lot of these black people going, oh, I can't believe that they said that they're gonna forgive him and he did this. First of all, what are you gonna do? These same people talking all of this trash, they did nothing. All they did was get mad. You see what I'm saying? So what's the point of getting mad and blowing up and getting in your feelings when you still haven't done anything? You ain't done nothing. So it's like, and it's just the absurdity of some of the stuff that I hear from a lot of these unbelievers, especially the black ones, especially the black unbelievers. They talk all of this smack, but they try to make it seem like that the smack that they talk is going to change the situation. You still talk about slavery, you still talking about ancestors and all of this stuff, and that stuff happened so long ago to where you have no idea of what slavery was like. And by you being mad, it's going to do what? It's not doing anything. It ain't helping the black community. It's not doing anything for society. Society is still the same. It's not bringing down the incarceration rates. It's not bringing down the 70% of children being born out of wedlock, and and 70% of fathers not being home and all of that stuff. I mean, it's just, I mean you're not doing anything. But us as Christians, these things are secondary issues to us. We know that all of this stuff is a result of sin. So when you have pure understanding, you can express pure meekness. I mean, it just makes sense. When you have a pure understanding of something, have you ever been at a job and something has happened, right? And you got somebody who's just panicking, and they just, oh man, we're going to fix something. And you understand exactly what needs to be done, and you start to execute the proper procedures to go ahead and start putting things back on track. You examine a level of calmness, a level of meekness. You know what I'm saying? You're willing to listen to what is actually going on and what has transpired, so therefore you can get all of the information and correct the wrong that's been done. That's where us Christians are. We understand the world. We understand who judges. So that's why we're able to express meekness. So, for all of those people out there who think that we're just weak and we're just sitting back, we don't, we just want to be doormats. It's just like, you have no understanding. You have no understanding. And if we didn't have the understanding, we'll be basically in the same boat with you. Mad, upset, looking for somebody to blame, all of this type of stuff. But we don't do that because we understand who we serve and we understand the power of the one that we serve. But anyway, guys, I don't want to make this video too long. It's already about 11 minutes. But as always, if you like what you've seen, like what you heard, if you're new to the channel, like, rate, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell for the notifications if you guys want to see exactly when I upload a video. You'll never miss a video of mine. I think YouTube is changing their algorithms or something. So if you really want to be up to date on a lot of the videos that I post, hit that bell for the notifications. And you guys have a blessed day.